Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. We just thought we'd do a little short video today with the 2026 salmon season being just around the corner, about 15 days away. We just thought we'd have a little rundown on the patterns that we're going to be carrying this season. Last season I must have had over 100 patterns in my bag and probably fished a handful of them, mainly fished one all season. So this season we've cut it down to 6, 7, maybe 8 patterns maximum. So what we're going to do is we're going to take on a little journey through the magic box of tricks, and we're going to show you what patterns we're hopefully going to be fishing and catching on again this season. So this is my 2 main wallets that I'm going to be carrying this season. And at first glance you might think, well, he said he was cutting down on his flies, but that looks like a lot of flies to me. And you'd be right, but there's a reason for this. Right, so although this does look like a hell of a lot of flies, and these 2 wallets, there is indeed only 7 patterns in there. And the reason why there's so many flies is because we need flies in various different weights. So in this wallet, for instance, we'll have 1-inch plastic tubing. We have 10mm plastic tubing. We'll have 1-inch plastic tubing with a tungsten cone. And we have 1-inch plastic tubing with a large, heavy brass cone. In the other wallet, we'll have the same pattern. So we'll have the same 6 patterns here, same 6 patterns here, same 6 patterns here, same 6 patterns here, which we're going to run through in a moment. But these ones are on 5mm tungsten with a tungsten cone to get down super deep, 1-inch brass with a brass cone, 10mm brass and 1-inch brass. And like I said, then we'll have our 5mm tungsten tubes with a tungsten nano cone. Right, so with all that being said, let's give you the rundown on exactly what patterns are in these wallets. One, like I said, in no particular order. So number 1 fly of my 6 patterns I'll be carrying this season is an adaptation on the stoat's tail that I came up with myself. I call it the ice stoat. So basically we've got the silver mirage body, we've got a blue hen hackle, we've got a red wire tag and rib. Underneath there we've got some ice blue flash with a black fox wing, jungle cock, a little bit of yellow fox in for the tail there. That fly served as well last season, and it's an absolutely classic or an adaptation of a classic pattern, the stoat's tail. Absolutely fantastic. In this size, I'll fish it right down to size 18 on dressed flies, which are also my wallets. Going back to the sizes again, the sizes come the sizes are to match the water conditions and the state of the river on that day. So a 1-inch brass tube like this, I would fish on a 3-inch per second tip. If the water was on the fall, it's going to get you down about a foot and a half, 2 feet in the water column. Excellent versatile fly, absolutely fantastic for salmon and for sea trout. So that is number 1. That was the number 1 fly that went straight in the wallet. Number 2, and like I say, these were in no order of preference whatsoever because my favourite fly I haven't come to yet, or favourite 2 flies. So this is in no order whatsoever. This is an absolute classic pattern, untampered with, just exactly as it was originally tied. It's the park shrimp. I'd fish this fly predominantly in spring, although I would fish it all the way through the season, especially in clear water, in smaller sizes. So just run through the dressing. We've got a gold dubbed angel hair body. We'll have some hot orange fox, some yellow fin raccoon for the middle wing. Then we'll have a little bit more hot orange fox, black fox, and we'll have an orange and a yellow hackle. That's on a 1-inch plastic tube as well. All the flies I'll be showing you are 1-inch plastic tube. But don't forget, these are the only 6 patterns that I have in my wallet. They're just all tied in different weights and sizes for different water conditions. So number 2, the park shrimp. Number 3, the 6 patterns or 7 patterns that's in my wallet. Like I say, not in any particular order. However, if I was going to fish on the River Tyne or anywhere with peaty water, this would be my first choice. This is my own fly. I call it the backender for obvious reasons. Salmon like red, especially at the back end of the season. It's been absolutely deadly for us, to be honest. I've had loads of fish on it. Had loads of fish in my first season, loads of fish on my second season. Hooked into some really big fish on the Tyne. Didn't land them, unfortunately, on this fly. Absolutely great pattern. Anywhere, I'm confident it will take fish anywhere, but especially where there's peaty water or in the last couple of months of the season. So just give you a rundown. We've got black silicon tubing. We've got red dubbed angel hair body. We've got a little bit of yellow fox for the first wing, hot orange fox for the middle wing, and we'll have claret over wing with jungle cock and a red guinea fowl hackle. So there it is. That's my own fly, the backender. That's fly number 3. That's in the wallet. Fly number 4. Now I said these fly, they weren't going in any order, but as you can see, this fly is the one that's in my hat on a brooch, and this is my number 1 fly for salmon and sea trout. Originally tied as my own pattern, but I didn't know what the usual was when I tied this fly, but I've since found out that there's a pattern called the usual, which is very, very, very similar. I don't really care, to be honest. This caught 90% of my fish last season, and I'm sure this will catch 90% of my fish again this coming season. So this is my all-time favourite salmon pattern, and it's one of my patterns that's made it at my wallet for obvious reasons this season. So we'll just run you through the dressing. Orange silk and tubing. We'll have copper angel hair dubbing. We'll have yellow short fox for the first underwing, topped with orange hot fox. We'll have a few strands of copper flash, and then we'll have some triple dyed fin raccoon, which is sort of a burnt orange going to a hot orange, and then we'll have a claret overwing with a blue hen hackle and obviously jungle cock. That there is absolutely deadly, and I suggest if you're a salmon fisherman or sea trout and you don't have that in your box, you get it in real quick. Absolutely deadly. My favourite fly by a million mile. I would fish that fly in spring. I will fish that fly in summer. I will fish that fly in autumn, and right up till the very last day, the last couple of weeks when I might change to a backender. But predominantly, that fly will be on my cast all season. If that's a small dropper in early spring, I sometimes fish 2. I fish the tube on the point with a smaller one on the dropper. It will be on my cast all season, without a doubt. Number 6 is an absolute classic that I wouldn't be without. It is the willie gunn. Very, very sparsely dressed. Very, very, very good fly. So I especially like it in the heavier weights, bouncing across the bottom when the fish are sulk and it's just sparse, and I think it just triggers the reaction from the fish to think, what's that? All the different colours, and if it's dressed sparsely, it's just got that little bit of movement, which is all it needs, with a little bit of jungle cock. It's just an absolutely all-round fantastic pattern, and I wouldn't be without it in my wallet. So at number 6, it's the Willie gun. And remember, these are not in order of favourite or any kind of order of what I catch or anything like that. It's just of the patterns that's in my wallet. The Willie gun. The 7th pattern and final, well, not the final pattern, but the final pattern of my tubes. So I have 7 patterns on tubes, then I have a couple of different patterns on dress flies. So I have 9 different patterns in each wallet. And this is a pattern of my own tie-in, which is called the, I've just bent the jungle cock on it a bit there, the supercharger shrimp. As you can see, it's got loads of boar bristle feelers at the back of it here, which just pulse in the water and can entice a take from sulking fish. I don't know if you can make it out very well in the video. It's in the colours of a Willie gun. So I have orange, yellow and black. I'll run through the tie. We'll have orange silken. We'll have orange boar and red boar bristle feelers. Then we'll have a orange grizzle hackle tied in at the back and folded down over the feelers. We'll then have a little bit of orange dubbin with a silver wire rib. And in the middle, we'll have a yellow badger hackle. And at the front, and then we'll have more red dubbin with more rib. And at the front, we'll have a black badger hackle. A black cock hackle with jungle cock. And again, that bounce across the bottom in tough conditions. If it just bounces past the salmon and then feelers are going, it can just be enough to spark some interest. And that's another pattern that I wouldn't be without. I've tied this for a lot of people and gave it out over last season, and they all did really, really well on it. So that's another pattern that I wouldn't be without. The supercharger shrimp. Now, besides that, what we have is some stoat tail variations. Here, some have got a little bit of flash in, some are really, really sparse. There's not much to them at all. It's basically just a foil body with some black fur, black fox wing. Some are a little bit more flashy, as you can see, with different coloured tag heads and tags. Just, I don't know, sometimes a little bit of different colour can spark interest in the fish. And on this side, we'll have some cascades in various colours, from the standard cascade to what I call the golden cascade, and a blue cascade, and a blue head cascade. So just a few different variations of a cascade and a few different variations of a stoat's tail in that wallet, in the dress flies. And then in this wallet, again, we'll have some of my ice stoats in different sizes and dressings. So some are a little bit bulkier, some are a little bit sparser. You know what it's like. On days, different fish want flies that are tied sparse. Sometimes they'll want them nice and big and bulky. And on this side, we'll have a few backenders, a few variants of the usual, and a few Calvin shrimps. That is it. That's all I'm carrying this season. 8 different patterns. I'll tell a little lie, and I'll show you why I'm telling a little lie. So when all else fails, I feel like everything I need is in that wallet. Where if I turn up the water and it's dirty, I feel like I've got to fly in there for it. If I turn up the water and it's low, I feel like I've got to fly in there for it. And so on and so on. However, we all have a secret box of magic tricks for them tough days, don't we? So, here it is. Something a little bit more bright and colourful. I'll just spin the camera around and I'll show you what's in there. Again, there is not a great deal of patterns in there. It's just a variety of colours just for the water conditions, for dirty water, for slightly dirty water, for tea-stained water, for peaty water. So we're just in those 2 small wallets in this box, which I can fit all of my wading jacket and my waders, I've got everything that I need. So just to give you a quick little rundown through what's in this box, these are basically all little shrimp patterns. Namely all the same style of fly, but dressed in different colours. We'll have a couple down here that have little feelers on, some little Francises. I'm going to tie some red Francises down into here. Well, as you can see, we've got some more little park shrimps in there, dressed but with green cascades, green head cascades, sorry. We'll have some red devils, but they're all tied in shrimp style, with bucktail tails, thread bodies, and a little hackle. So they're pretty much all the same pattern in different colours, but different sizes. On this size, we'll have our winged flies. So we'll have backenders, the usual, Calvins, park shrimps, all the same patterns again, but as you can see, some have a lot more flashing, some are dressed very sparsely, some don't have flashing at all. So just, although we're down to about, well, say 10 patterns maximum, it's all about the colours and the sizes and the conditions of the water on the day. So there it is, there you have it. There's a little peek inside the magic box of tricks. Like I say, last season we carried ridiculous amounts of patterns. On top of those, I might carry a couple of sun rays, just for those days when you just don't touch anything and you just want to rip a sun ray through. But that will be it. That's all I'll be carrying this season. Last season I humped a big rucksack about with a chest pack on that was loaded with flies. The rucksack was loaded with flies. And I rarely ever changed fly. And like I say, most of my fish came on my variant of the usual. And I'm pretty confident it will again this season. Just don't need to carry all those flies. It's ridiculous. And I won't be anymore. So just on that note, since we're just around the corner from salmon season 2026, I just want to wish everyone tight lines for the coming season. Hopefully we get plenty of water, because last season was just an absolute... the conditions were really difficult, and considering how well I did for my own standards, I'm sure people did much better. But I'm really happy with the amount of fish I took last season. I'm just hoping with a little bit of more water this season we can land a few more salmon, because a lot of my fish were sea trout last season. So A, we can land a few more salmon, and B, we'll get a lot more salmon running the river. So we're getting close. I'm absolutely chomping at the bit. So tight lines, everyone. We'll be putting another video up tomorrow, doing a little bit of nymphing for grayling on the River Weir. So please check that out, give it a share, like and subscribe, and until the next one, tight lines everyone, cheers.